Chandaya Radha Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Today's English class, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Dandavat pranams. Okay, so today we're continuing this Nabadwip Mahatmya, the glories of Nabadwip. So, next, Nityananda took the devotees to Mahatpur and said this place is same as Kamyavan in Vraj. In ancient time, there were 5 banyan trees here. Now they have disappeared. Draupadi Saha Pandu Putra Panchajan Agyad Vashite Gaura Koile Agaman. This is one of my favorite stories. Nityananda said during their exile, the 5 Pandavas and Draupadi came to live here in disguise. Okay. They stayed at Ekachakra. Okay. The 5 Pandavas, Yudhishthira, Bhimsen, Arjuna, Nakul and Sahadev, they were rightful kings of India. But their blind uncle Dhritarashtra, being so much affectionate to his own sons, he cheated the Pandavas of their inheritance. Not only that, he tried to kill them. He tried to burn them. Okay. So he sent the Pandavas to one place, I cannot remember the name, and beforehand he had a house built of wax, okay, built of ghee, wood, flammable substances. Is there any, you know English? There's anyone doing Chinese translation? Yeah. Okay. There's some new Chinese I don't know than before. One mother, I guess, and that's her daughter. Who are they? Yes, yes. Anyway, maybe we can talk later. So the 5 Pandavas went there. That time Draupadi was not there. So they went with their mother Kunti. So Vidura, he sent a message to the Pandavas in code. It said he spoke Malacha Bhasa. I guess that's English. He said there are other weapons which kill but do not cut. What is that, Sita? That is fire, right? Fire kill you very nicely. So the Pandavas could understand. They looked at this house, everything made of cotton, ghee, wax, things which burn very easily. So he made a tunnel. Vidura made a tunnel. From that place, actually near Madhusudan Maharaj's village, birthplace, the place where the Pandavas came out, that tunnel is there. It's like, that means that tunnel was like 300 miles long. So huge tunnel. And Bhim closed the entrance with a huge stone. That stone is still there. You can see it. When you see the size of the stone, you can think how strong was Bhimsen. So the Pandavas wanted to disguise themselves, to hide. So they came to Ekachakra. Okay, Ekachakra Gram Swapne Raja Yudhishthira. So they disguised themselves as brahmanas. And they were living in the house of one pot maker. So one day when the brothers were out collecting donations to eat, then Mother Kunti heard the next door neighbor talking. The husband was weeping because in that village of Ekachakra was very big. There was one demon. His name I cannot remember. One demon was there. So he used to go around eating everyone. So the village agreed, okay, don't eat everyone. Every month we give you one villager. So after many years, the turn of this house came. They had to donate one person for the demon to eat. So the father was saying, I will go. The duty of the father is to protect the family. The wife was saying, no, I will go. The duty of the wife and mother is to serve husband and children. I will go. Then the daughter was saying, the life of the children is to serve the parents. I will go. And they had one small son who was maybe 3 or 4. He could not really understand what was happening. But he took a stick. I will kill the demon with my stick. Don't fear. Like this. So family was laughing and family was weeping at the same time. So Kunti said to the pot maker, don't worry, my son will go. My son is very powerful. So when he came, Bhimsen, when mother said you should go to fight this demon, at first Yudhishthira became very angry, but then he agreed. So there was one bullock cart full of food, cake, smitana, many things, puris, sabjis. One bullock cart full of food with 2 buffaloes, and the human was the driver. So the demon, he would eat all the buffaloes and of course all the food, and the human was like the pastry on the end. So, but Bhim was very hungry because he was many months not could eat properly. So he was eating all this cakes and biscuits and rice and sabji. He was very happy. When the demon saw this human is eating everything, he became very angry. There was a big fight between Bhima and this demon. Then Bhima broke him in half. And his head, he put on one stick. Then all the other demons in that area became afraid. So this happened when the Pandavas were living in Ekachakra. Okay, who took birth in Ekachakra? Sita? Who? Sita, who took birth in Ekachakra? Nityananda Prabhu took birth there. So also when the Pandavas were there, they heard of the marriage ceremony of Draupadi. So all Pandavas went there to the swayamvar. Swayamvar is like marriage competition. So Draupadi's father was named Draupad. So he wanted, my daughter should marry Arjuna. So he made a test only Arjuna could complete. First was a bow made of iron, so heavy, so strong. No? So all the kings of the world came because Draupadi was so beautiful. All wanted to marry Draupadi. But most of the kings could not even pick up the bow. Those could pick up, only 1 or 2 could put the string on the bow. Then you had to hit the target. Target was a fish with a hole. And the eye of the fish, not eye of the tiger, the eye of the fish was the target. So the fish would spin clockwise. and there was a disc with a hole. The disc would spin anti-clockwise. You know? So that when the hole and the fisheye came together, you had to shoot your arrow. But you could not look at it directly. You had to look at it at the reflection in a pot of water, like this. So no king could shoot. Then Arjuna was disguised as a Brahmin. So he said, may a Brahmin try? Then everyone began laughing. Ha, Brahmin is very weak, what he will do. But still, yes, Draupadi said, anyone may try. So Arjuna came. In 1 second, he picked the bow, he strung, he put the arrow, and he shot the target. Actually, Krishna and Balaram were there also. Krishna, Gurudev would say, Krishna was thinking, I will marry Draupadi. But when he saw these 5 brahmanas were looking at Draupadi, then Krishna could understand, no, Pandavas already love her, so I will not do. Then when Arjuna shot the target, then Draupadi kept his promise. He gave his daughter to this dark complexioned Brahmin. Then all the kings become crazy, angry. Who is this Brahmin? He is disrespecting us. We will finish him. At that time, Bhim, he took one tree out of the ground and took off the branches, so it was like a huge club. And he stood there like this to support his brother. So all the other brahmanas wanted to fight on the side of Arjuna. So they took their Achaman cups and their tilak balls as weapons. Then Arjuna said, no, brothers, don't worry. I can do this very easily. And Bhim and Arjuna finished all these kings. And Arjuna took Draupadi back to Ekachakra. There was a rule, whatever the brothers would collect in donation, they would share. 4 brothers and Kunti would take half, and Bhim would take the other half. So Arjuna, in India, when the girl is married, the father donates the girl to the husband. Okay, Milana, taking notes? Don't do your own fishing. Father will arrange. So the father donates the daughter to the husband. This is a very pious gift. When father does like this, is one great form of punya, great form of charity. Just by doing that, you go to the heavenly planets. If you can give your daughter who is virgin, you give in marriage, doors of heaven open. Chalo. Anyway, we're not too much interested in heaven, but just saying this is Vedic culture. So, oh mother, look what we got as donation. Then Kunti did not know what Arjuna was talking. Oh, share amongst all brothers. Then Arjuna showed look what gift. This is not any roti or chapati. This is a young girl. And Kunti said, whole life I never said lie. So what I said must come true. So all 5 brothers married to Draupadi. So anyway, many stories are there. The father of Draupadi was very worried because who is this Brahmin? He didn't know. This is Arjuna. So maybe I gave my daughter to some low-class person. I don't know. So Draupadi sent one spy. Because in the discussion, you can understand what type of family is there. So when all the Pandavas were lying down for sleeping, they were talking amongst themselves. And what they were talking about? Weapons, fighting, army, management. This is the talk of Kshatriya, the warrior class. So anyway, the messenger came and told all this to Draupadi. Your daughter has not gone to any low class, gone to very high class of family. Then Draupadi came there, then he could understand this was the Pandavas. Then Draupadi so happy, weeping tears of happiness. Krishna Balaram also came there to Ekachakra, described. So that is before. Then afterwards, when Yudhishthira lost the gambling match, then, if I'm not mistaken, he had to spend 12 years in exile and 1 year in hiding. So Draupadi Sahapandu Putra Panchajan Agya Vashita Gore Koilo Agaman. So when during their exile, that means after this, they came back to Ekachakra and they resided in Godadesh. If Nabadwip is like a lotus, then the 64 square miles, is that circumference, Radhika? The circle around the midpoint, is that circumference? Right. And what's diameter? That's one point of the circle through the center to the other, right? So circumference. Anyway, whatever it is, maths was not my strong point. So anyway, that 64 square mile radius around Nabadwip, this is called Godadesh. So it said the demigods, they see everyone in that area as with four-handed forms. Such is the power of Nabadwip. So in this 12 years, the Pandavas wandered everywhere. But the Pandavas would not like to stay any place where the Ganga river did not flow. Ganga has its own power. No? So again, the Pandavas came back to Ekachakra. Of course, Nityananda Prabhu, he is born there. So Ekachakra Graham Sapde Raja Yudhishthira Nadia Mahatma Jani Hoyelo Astir. So while they was there in this village of Ekachakra, then Yudhishthira Maharaj had a dream about the glories of Nabadwip. So after that dream, they left Ekachakra and came here. Nityananda said, to this place, which is called Mahatpur. So all the Pandavas felt great ecstasy. Nabadwip, Sobahare, Panduputragan, Gaurabasi Janubhagya Kore, Prashamsan. When they saw the beauty of Nabadwip, the Pandavas began to glorify the residents of this Godadesh. And really, this Nabadwip is so beautiful. Just now, we're looking at one video of the construction in Nabadwip. And Didi was saying, so green, look, everywhere green. Now it's rainy season. So it's cool. Like today in Vrindavan, it's like, what, 115 Fahrenheit or something. But Nabadwip never become like that hot. Always green, always cool, always favorable. So the Pandavas began glorifying the residents of Godadesh. They resided here for some time and killed many demons. So this place is known as Yudhishthira Tilayak Deka Sarvajan. This hill is called Yudhishthira Tila. And Draupadi Kund is nearby. Maharaj Yudhishthira, understanding the glories of Nabadwip, stayed here for a long time. Ekadin snapna deke Gaurangerarup Sarvadika Alokore Ati Aparup. One night, while Yudhishthira Maharaj was taking rest, he saw a dream. And what did he see in that dream? Gaurangera Rup, the form of Lord Chaitanya, the form of Gauranga. Gauranga, 4 syllables, Radhika. Right? Gauranga. We say Gauranga, but it's 4-syllable mantra. There's no difference between the 4-syllable mantra, Gauranga, and Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna also have 4 syllables. So this is same, no difference between them. Sarva dik alo kore ati aparu. Lord Chaitanya's form was so astonishing. Sarva dik alo kore ati aparu. all directions surrounding Lord Chaitanya was also so much illuminated. Bahukoti Chandrajini Vadana Ujval. We sing in Gaurati. Bahukoti Chandrajini Vadana Ujval. Lord Chaitanya's Vadana, complexion like Bahukoti Chandrajini, like thousands and thousands of moons. So bright but not burning like the sun. So bright but so cooling at the same time. So Yudhishthira saw this form. And Yudhishthira had seen before Krishna, of course, but this form he had not seen. Hasite, hasiti gaur, bolileva chan, ati gopya rupe kore darashan, ami Krishna nanda sud, tumara alai, mitra bhav takishada ninja janahai. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Krishna with a golden complexion, right? Krishna is Sham Sundar, beautiful but with dark complexion. But that same Krishna in Nabadwip, he is Gaura Sundar, Krishna but with a golden complexion, the complexion of Radhika. No? So just see this form of mind, which is very rarely seen. I, Krishna, always stay in your home as your friend, just like a member of your family, Mitra Bhav. Many times Krishna come to Hastinapur and he stay where? In the house of the Pandavas, like a friend. Actually, when Krishna and Arjuna when Krishna and Yudhishthira would meet, Krishna would do pranam to Yudhishthira because Yudhishthira was a little older than Krishna. So Yudhishthira have feelings, Krishna don't know too much, I have to look after him. Some Vatsalya Ras is there and Yudhishthira Maharaj. Because Yudhishthira thought, I know I'm older, I'm more senior than Krishna. For that reason, Bhagavan advised him, if you want to know Tattva Siddhanta, you hear from grandfather Bhishma, not from me. Hare Krishna. But Bhim and Arjuna, they're pure Sakiras. When they meet Krishna, they embrace like friends. And Nakul and Sahadev, they all also have Sakiras, but little they have Sambram mood, little awe and reverence, little bit, because they are junior. So see this form. I am Nanda Nandan, the son of Nanda. I am Sri Krishna. I always stay in your house like a friend. E Nabadwip Dam Sarva Damasad Kalite Prakat Hoy Nashe Andaka. This Nabadwip Dham is the essence of all holy places. Kalite Prakat Hoy Nase Andaka. In Kali Yuga, Kalite Prakata Hoy. In Kali Yuga, it manifests more and more every day. And that is true. You see, Saraswati Thakur, he began his Gaudiya Math in 1916. That big temple, Masi Bari they call it, that was completed in 1924. This yoga pit, I think it's completed 1934. That means in less than 100 years, how much Navadvip has manifested. Saraswati Thakur himself built a Gaudiya Math on each of the 9 islands of Navadvip. And how many Gaudiya Maths there are today, you cannot count. Of course, you know, there's Devananda Gaudiya Math, Saraswat Chaitanya Math, the Mul Chaitanya Math, Gaudiya Mission, Chaitanya Mission. So many bhajan ashrams, so many Gaudiya Maths, from the Ghat up to Chankazi. And we also building one, well, not me, but anyway, building one, there's Swetadip Dham, Didi's Math, Swetadip Dham. So you will see every day and everywhere is some construction going on. This new Math, this new Math, this Maharaj opening one temple. So this is all the mercy of Nabadwip, mercy of Mahaprabhu. Kalite Prakat Hoye Nase Andaka. You see, this year was COVID, but still, how many Sankirtan parties, how many Parikram parties? You cannot count how many different ones. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people doing Parikram. And this is only in 100 years. Since Bhaktivinoda Thakur declared Mayapur as the birthplace of Gauranga, in only 100 years, what happened? Christianity took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years to go around the world. With this Gaudiya Vaishnavism, in less than 30, 40 years, gone everywhere. This is all the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So Kalite Prakat Hoy Nasi Andika. In Kali Yuga, this Dham manifests more every day. And of course, the ISKCON temple they're building, the temple of Vedic planetarium, they're called. Rukmini, when you go there, you can't even imagine the size of that temple ISKCON is building there. Can't even imagine it. I mean, it's pretty. Before, they'd take you on a tour inside. Radhika, you see it. Have you been there? When was the last time you came? What? 50 BC?
No, 2006, long time.
2000s. You haven't been for 15 years. What have you been doing? Chop off a
Wasting my
nose.
life.
When you see this temple ISKCON building, really, it's completely astonishing. I mean, I went in the Vatican. Kusum from Italy took me there, and that was pretty impressive, but this is even bigger than that. When you go inside, it's completely enormous. It's incredible. It actually takes your breath away. Anyway, this is all the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And what will happen in the next 100 or 200 years, 500 years, who can tell? So this Dham manifests in Kali Yuga, Kalite Praketa Hoy, Nase Andika, and destroys the ignorance of everyone. Yes, maybe we cannot visit, but at least we can hear. So Mahaprabhu spoke to the Pandavas, Tumi sabe ache chirakal dasamama, amar praketa kal poebe janam. All of you are my eternal servants. When I come in this form, all of you will also take birth again. Okay. Utkal deshite shindu tirer tumas saha ekatre purushotim rab aharaha. I would always stay with you, both here and in Utkal, Orissa, Jagannath Puri. So if I'm not mistaken, this 5 Pandavas, Ramananda Roy was one. His father's name was, cannot remember, no? Maybe it's said down here, no? No, anyway, these 5 Pandavas came with Pandu. They came in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, and Ramananda Roy appeared as one of them. Therefore, sometime it said Ramananda Roy, he's the incarnation of Arjuna. So Didi explains, like Ramananda Roy, like Arjuna had so much friendship with Krishna, and Ramananda Roy had so much friendship with Mahaprabhu. So in that way, he's Ramananda Roy. But inside, of course, we hear he is Vishaka. So anyway, both things, because external we have one mood, Bhavananda Roy, thank you, my God. Even Purushottam knows more than me. I will hence commit suicide at the end of this class. Yes, Bhavananda Roy and his 5 sons. Okay. How embarrassing. Purushottam, don't do that again, please. So, these 5 Pandavas came again in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu as Bhavananda Roy and his 5 sons. Estan hoite be jao ora desh, ese desh pavitra koro nash jiva klesh. Now you should go to Orissa, purify that place and remove the suffering of everyone there. So when the Pandavas went to Orissa, I have to think, anyway, must be so. When Yudhishthira woke from the dream, he told his brothers about it. Therefore, there was, many people think, oh, dream is imaginary. Oh, yeah, but it depends who has the dream, right? High class personality has dream, we cannot say that is illusionary. Otherwise, why Bhaktivinoda Thakur would put these type of things in his books? All dream is not illusion. Some dream, highest truth can be revealed also through dream. No? So, Nabadwip, Charite, Hoyeleu, Baraklesh, the 5 brothers and Draupadi did not want to leave Nabadwip, but because Mahaprabhu ordered, they went. No? But with great sadness, they left. So, okay, good. You may remember last class we spoke about Ramanujacharya. He is the great Acharya in Kali Yuga of the Sri Sampradaya. And he taught his philosophy of Vishishta Advaitavad, purified monism. But Lord Chaitanya appeared in his heart. Then he said, now don't you keep silence about me, and you just preach your philosophy of Vishishta Advaitavad. Afterwards, you will come in my pastimes, and there you can mix more, you can serve me more intimately. So Madhvacharya also came here to this place, Mahatpur. So Estan Madhvamuni Shishyaganaloy Porohinale Kotadin Damabasahoy. Madhvamuni, Madhvacharya also stayed a long time here in Mahatpur with his disciples. Madhvacharya also traveled so much and preached. Many stories of his traveling. One time, during his travels, there was 100 criminals who attacked Madhvacharya. Because at that time, there was no like PayPal or credit card even. What to speak of Bitcoin. So everyone would carry their money with them. So especially going to holy places, you would spend quite a bit. So criminals used to plunder the pilgrims. So one time, 100 criminals attacked Madhvacharya's party. And Madhvacharya killed them all with his bare hands. Okay? Put that in the Vyasa Puja. Just with his bare hands, he killed 100 of them. This is not surprising because he's the incarnation of the wind god, Hanuman and Bhimsen. So he also traveled everywhere, refuting Mayavad and establishing the glories of pure devotion. But so he also came to Nabadwip and stayed a long time. Madhve Kore Kripa Gaurangara Sunda Snapte Dekaile Rup Oti Manoha. So he also appeared, Lord Chaitanya also appeared to Madhvacharya in a dream. That form was supremely enchanting because Krishna is beautiful. But when they're combined with Radhika, then more beautiful than even Krishna, because Radhika is there also. That means Gauranga is even more beautiful than Radhika. Because in Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Radhika is there, Krishna also. So, astonishing beauty. Hasi Hasi Gaurachand Madhvachari Bole, Tumanitidas Mama Jane to Sakale. Very easy Bengali this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right? Very easy Bengali. Hasi Hasi Gaurachanda Madhvachari Bole. Laughing Gaurachanda said, everyone knows you are my eternal servant. Nabadwip Jabe Ame Prakatta Hoibe. I will take birth here in Nabadwip and I will accept your sampradaya. Therefore, we are the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, Rukmini, try and stay awake. We're the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accept this Sampradaya. So we are a branch of the Madhva Sampradaya. Okay? So, with great effort, you should uproot Mayavad everywhere. Okay, Vijaya? In Sochi, why we send you to Sochi? So every day you can go out and chant Harinam. Didi said, someone who goes on Harinam Sankirtan, that person have a mountain of Sukriti who goes on Harinam. And that person who doesn't go on Harinam has no Sukriti. So don't think Harinam is some burden or some low-class thing. This is the highest thing. So as long as Mayavad is there in the heart, Jiva can never have pure bhakti. Never, never, never. If there's even a smell of Mayavadi, Purushottam, smell of Mayavad, cannot have bhakti. Bhakti Devi runs away from such a heart. So not so easy to uproot Mayavad, because this root is very deep. Actually, all the demonic and atheistic works we see in Kali Yuga, the root is Mayavad. The root is Mayavad. So, Mahaprabhu said, you should preach with great effort. With great effort, you should go everywhere and uproot this Mayavad. Right? As long as the Jiva thinks this world is false and they think they are Bhagavan, they are Brahm, then who will serve who? Right, Purushottam, if everyone's Bhagavan, who will serve who? Finished. So Madhvacharya very strongly uprooted Mayavad. The other Sampradayas, they accepted some of the Advaitavad philosophy, something. Because you cannot deny Bhagavan and his potencies. Shakti Matora Bed, oneness is there. You cannot deny. But Madhvacharya fully denied. Fully denied. And he preached so much the difference. There's eternal difference between the Jiva and Jiva. Right? There's eternal difference between me and Purushottam. Thus. Okay, thank God. Eternal one Jiva never becomes another Jiva. Same. The Mayavadis believe in the theory of Ekajiva. There's only one soul. But this is not true. If I have a headache, Purushottam doesn't have a headache. So there is not one Jiva. There's unlimited Jivas. And there's eternal difference between one soul and another soul. Eternal difference. There's eternal difference between Jiva and Jiva. There's eternal difference between Jiva and Maya. Eternal difference between Maya and Maya. Right? Even one chapati is never the same as any other chapati. One banana is never the same as another banana. One snowflake never the same as any other snowflake. So eternal difference is there between Maya and Maya. Eternal difference is there between Bhagavan and Maya. And eternal difference is there between Bhagavan and the Jiva. So there's 5 differences. So uproot Mayavad everywhere. Strongly he preached. Shrimurti Mahatmya Tumi Koro Prakash Tav Sudamatami Koribo Bikash. You should reveal the glories of the deity. Shrimurti Mahatmya Tumi Koro Prakash. Okay, we will hear later how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took 2 principles from each sampradaya. So here is the 2 principles he took from Madhvacharya. Opposing of Mayavad and acceptance of the deity. I've not gone there, but I've heard very beautiful deity of there, manifested by Madhvacharya, called Nitya Gopal, dancing Krishna. Nitya Gopal. One day there was a boat. Okay, before there was no engines, just sailboat. And this sailboat was about to sink. Some storm was there. So Madhvacharya waved his cloth like this. And he's the incarnation of the wind god. So he somehow stopped the storm and he guided the boat into safety. Then the captain was so happy. He wanted to give a gift to Madhvacharya. His boat was full of all type of things. So Madhvacharya said, no, I don't want that. You give me some tilak. You know, in the bottom of the boats, they call ballast. Before they used to use rocks, water, lead, many things. But that time they used tilak balls, huge blocks of tilak. So Madhvacharya said, give me some of them, give me 1 tilak ball. So there was a huge ball of tilak, about as big as this room. Madhvacharya lifted it and it broke open. And inside was a deity of Krishna, Nitya Gopal. Some say that was worshipped by Rukmini. I've heard that. So that deity was so heavy, 100 guys could not lift it. So Madhvacharya put on his head alone and carried. He made up many stutis, many prayers at that time. And very strongly they worship the deity. I've heard there's 8 sannyasis. Each sannyasi has to be lifelong brahmachari. And each sannyasi gets 2 years to serve. So 2 years I do the full seva, morning to night. Then the next, after 2 years, another sannyasi gets 2 years. Then after 2 years, another sannyasi gets 2 years. After 16 years, you get your turn again. So they serve with great nishta. So these 2 things Mahaprabhu said to Madhvacharya: to preach against Mayavad, and you reveal the glories of the deity. Those religions, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, those religions which do not accept the deity, they cannot develop any conception of love of God. Right, Brajeshri? Where's your husband? Where is he? Turn the camera, I don't believe it. Okay, there he is. Good. Okay. Those religions which do not accept the Murti, they have no concept of love of God. No concept. Because love who? Unless God's a person, how can you love him? Simple, right? So Mahaprabhu gave these orders. Go and preach. Preach these 2 things. Ete bole Gora Chand, hoilo antadyan, Nidurbangi Madhva Muni, hoilo adyan. When Madhva Muni, Madhvacharya woke up, he remembered the dream, he fell unconscious again. When again he woke up, he wept. When again I will see that golden form, and he began to weep. Daiva Vani Hoilo Tab Nimal Akash Amara Gopani Baji Oisha Mama Pas. You should worship me secretly. You will come to me. Means don't tell everyone about me, just you worship. The next life you will come to. So when he heard the instruction of Mahaprabhu, he came and he went to preach. Okay? They came to Rudradwip. This Rudradwip is 2 parts. One this side of the Bhagirati, of the Ganga, the other one that side. In 1996, Gurudev, on my first Nabadwip Parikram, even though I was not initiated, Gurudev took everyone to Rudradwip. That time, Devananda Gaudiya had like 10,000 people. You cannot imagine the size of the parikram. Huge. And Saraswati Thakur built a Gaudiya Math on each island. So 96, when we went to Rudradwip, the Ganga had changed. No? And we were there on this mat, and the Ganga literally was taking 2 meters would fall into the river every minute, every 2 minutes. Huge chunk would fall into the river. And the Ganga was eating, and the mud was like 5 meters away. So that means by tomorrow it won't be there, really. And the Ganga took that whole temple. Why? Who knows? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows. So must be they built another one. I don't know, but I think they must. So this Rudradwip has 2 sides, one this side, one that side. Now no one lives here. Okay, let's read this. By the will of Mahaprabhu, no one lives here now. Because of the flow of the Ganga, the western island is moving towards the eastern bank. Now see from here, Shankarpur. We're hearing how all the acharyas came to Nabadwip. Okay. So, Sankaracharya also came. He wanted to defeat the scholars of Nabadwip. Moniti Vaishnav Vraj Acharya Shankha Bahire Advaitavadi Mayarakika. Although Acharya Shankar was Lord Shiva, the best of the devotees, externally, he was a Mayavad. He was the partial incarnation of Shiva himself. And Sankaracharya, what did he do? He preached Buddhism, hidden Buddhism. Okay. Buddhism and Mayavad, the same thing. Right? Because Mayavad say, there is something, there is an absolute truth, but it has no arms, no legs, no eyes, no nose, no hands, no legs, no Shakti, no name, no qualities, no activities. In other words, and the Buddhists preached, there is no absolute truth. The absolute truth is nothing, a zero. So both of these conceptions are the same thing. Right, Radhika, if I took away your nose, legs, arms, ears, eyes, hair, name, activities, what would be left? Nothing. So Sankaracharya called the absolute truth something, but there's nothing there. And Buddhism preached the same thing. There's nothing. So both is the same idea. So Sankaracharya came to Mayapur to defeat the scholars, to preach Mayavad. But when he came to Nabadwip, Gauranga appeared in his dream and sweetly said, Tumituma das mama agyadori racharicha Mayavad bahuyatna kori. It is my order that you are preaching Mayavad. Mayavad is to deflect the demons, to deviate the demons. Okay? Because the demons know devotion fulfills all desire. So devotion and demons have bad desires. Right, Mark? If the Supreme Lord came and said, what do you want? I'll give you anything. What would you ask for? Not now, but before. What would you ask for? Okay, don't tell us. We would ask for some rubbish thing, right? And that would disturb the whole world, disturb ourselves, disturb everyone, disturb the creation. Generally, when a demonic person gets some chance to fulfill any desire, what they ask for, like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Adolf Hitler, all these guys, unlimited power, unlimited wealth, unlimited enjoyment. How much it caused chaos. So that these demons would not disturb devotion and not disturb Krishna, because every 5 minutes they'd be asking him for something. So in order to protect Bhagavan, the devotees, and devotion, Krishna thought better to hide everything from them. So he ordered Shankar, go to this world and preach Mayavad. Okay? But then Lord said, but don't preach it here, get lost. So he didn't say get lost, he said, don't preach it. Hey Nabadwip Dham Mama Priyati, this Nabadwip is very dear to me. Mayavad cannot be preached here, don't do it. So Mama Bhakta Gan Dvesh Kore Je Jan Thar Kevala Teya Kore Na Vansha. Gurida Shiv Heta Prodha Maya Laya Kalpit Agamagame Dena Prachari. So Shiva, with his Shakti Prodhamaya, they speak a false explanation of the Agamas. A big explanation we gave about this a few days ago. Remember? All these demonic theories, non-Vedic theories, like Vaishishtava, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, this Purva Mimamsa, that is Karma Kand, this Vaishishik theory, atomic theory, this Chavak, the theory of just borrow money, drink ghee, because when you're dead, everyone's ashes, who will repay who. all these horrible demonic theories, these all spread by British Shivji. Why Shiva is the destroyer. So those who follow him end up getting destroyed. So Shiv stays here and he spreads false explanations of the scriptures, but they only preach to those who have enmity to the devotees. Because Shiva's sole intention is to deceive such people, confuse them, because Shiva is the Lord of Maya, illusion. Those who are not devotees are punished by him. Estan sararan mama bhakta hoy, dustamati prachare stana iha noy. This place, there's no place for this demonic preaching. Don't spread Mayavad or other philosophies here. Generally, Mayapur, Nabadwip is for Maya devotees. Therefore, go somewhere else. Don't cause pain to the devotees of Nabadwip. So fully blissful, he followed Lord Chaitanya's order and left Nabadwip. Okay, we'll finish here. Nandanandan Priya, you listening? Okay, so I found one lady from Australia and she will do Chinese translation. Actually, she's a white Australian, but she knows Chinese. Many years ago, she came to Krishna Balaram. So I wrote to her last night, if we give some, can you give some Chinese translation? So Nandapriya, tell us a good time and we'll arrange. I'll give some class and all Chinese guys can listen. Okay, now it's finished. Any questions from the people? Any questions?
Guru Maharaj, my Dandavats is Makeshvari. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was sent, Krishna sent him to Bhimsen, but Krishna instructed Arjuna directly. It's because of their relationship. Like
What?
the beings. So Krishna sent Yudhishthira Maharaj to grandfather Bhishma for instructions.
All other Pandavas were also there.
But he instructed Arjuna directly on the battlefield. So it's because they're different
When
relationships.
Arjuna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, all the other Pandavas also heard it.
Okay, so I shouldn't think like that.
I think all us like same.
Okay.
Okay, Numohan, still alive? How's everything going?
We're now on book distribution. We just stopped for a while to hear your katha.
No, I was telling Didi about Sochi today. She was happy.
She was happy.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I just
All devotees doing Sankirtan and preaching, great happiness. Okay, so everything's going good there?
well, we tried like to do a little more, but I felt sick these days, so still sick a little bit. Actually, we all one by one becoming sick somehow.
Well,
Like
COVID's still there.
Lakshman and Vasini and Ananga Mohan also like got sick, quite strong actually.
Okay, be careful. Even here, we're like, everyone keeps a little distance from each other.
But here, if we preach, how we can keep distance?
Anyway, don't go like this. Hello, how are you? Little distance. You already got COVID. You already got it anyway, right?
No,
No? Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. Anyway, keep preaching. Good. Keep
Still,
serving
I like-
God. Singer Griever's happy?
Самогрево счастлив, спрашиваю.
Yes, yes,
Да.
thank you.
Okay. It's a great thing you're doing. This is not
Вика,
done before. It's a great thing.
раньше такого не делали еще.
So keep trying.
Продолжайте стараться.
Okay. Haribol, Nihama.
Haribol.
Okay. So Thursday is Russian class. Okay. What's her name? Vijaya. Tell Vijaya not to be a bomb. She has to go out also. Okay? Not just eating in the house. You also have to go and do something. Okay, any questions more?
Gurudev, can I ask one question?
Kaneshwada?
Значит, Ramachandra, he'd been taught by Vasishtha Muni, like he was his guru.
Shiksha Guru.
What kind
No,
of philosophy he spoke to him?
Well, how to be king, all Dharma Shastra, all weaponry, many things to know.
How about any spiritual philosophy about like soul, difference soul from
Yeah,
different soul and God?
I know I wasn't there, but I could imagine that was also taught. How would I know all this? Think I was there next to him? No. Anyway, teaching.
I just heard that for Vasishtha Muni, he wrote some impersonal
Yeah.
book. Like
Before he met Lord Ram, he was big Mayavadi.
he was Mayavadi.
The big one. And he wrote a book called Yoga Vishishta. No? But Guru Maharaj said, don't even look at that book in dream. Full of Mayavad. Actually, Advaita Chai was teaching from that book when he wanted to make Mahaprabhu angry. But Vishishta, when he saw Ram and everything, he changed and became devotee. But his previous realization, that was all Mayavad.
So he just met Ramchandra and he become changed.
Met Bhagwan, you don't think you'd change?
No, just asking. I don't know.
Too much, I don't know. Yes, he met the Lord, became devotee. He was also guru of Ram's father, Dasarath Maharaj. So he met many devotees, then some changed. Exactly time sequence, I don't know.
But in this book, Yoga Vasishtha, there is some description how Vasishtha Muni taught.
I don't know, I have not read it because Gurudev said don't look at it, so I never read it.
So we should not even think of this. Okay.
No need. Why?
Just to explain.
What someone did before devotion is not so much important.
Just to explain those people who believe in this scripture.
And explain that before he became devotee, he wrote all these things.
Before he wrote?
Yeah,
But
before he became a devotee, he wrote all this Mayavad stuff.
That is strange thing because in this book, I just heard this, that I just want to understand, Gurudev. There is.
I don't know, I haven't read it. Gurudev said, don't look at it. Why are you asking me what's in it? I never read it.
Okay.
Full of Mayavad. That's all you need to know. It's not so much important. What he did afterwards is more important, you know.
Okay.
Like when Indu Mohan was a baby and running around his nappies, is that important? Or what you're doing now is important? Huh?
Well, I cannot ask this question anymore. Because
what you're doing now is
I cannot.
Okay. Haribol.
Thank you.
I heard one devotee joined full time there. Is that true?
Yes.
Is he crazy?
Well, I cannot say right now because he's here.
He's there with you now, with you in the garden. Show me him. Kako zовут? What's his name?
Спрашивают, как тебя зовут?
Krishnadas. Krishnadas.
Я им. Simpal Prabhu gave him name Krishnadas because he said he has no name.
Anyway, Guru will give name, no?
Gurudev does to him.
No, to do this. First day you get a name. It's not like
Не нужно давать имя сразу.
How old is he?
Сколько? Спрашиваю, сколько лет? He's this type of person who doesn't want to say his name and how old is he.
Okay, he has any questions?
Есть какие-то вопросы?
Ну, про Югу слышишь?
Please say no.
Ask him, does God have a form?
Гурудев спрашивает, есть у Бога форма? Krishna has a form.
Okay, good. Good. That form is eternal,
Это форма вечная,
unchanging.
неизменная.
Okay, to think of that form is the highest meditation.
И думать об этой форме, размышлять о высший тип медитации.
There is nothing beyond that, nothing greater.
Ничего более высокого нет, ничего за пределами.
Okay, he's fortunate he's coming to these teachings.
Ты очень удачлив, что соприкоснулся с этим учением, с этим знанием.
Don't run away, just be patient.
Не избегай, будь терпелив.
Try and serve, try to please everyone, try to serve.
Жить и радовать преданных.
Right? Any questions, Singagriv will help you. No?
Если есть вопросы, то Симхагрива поможет.
Okay. He's chanting a little bit.
Повторяешь немного Харе Кришна?
Да.
Yes.
He feels happiness when he chants.
Чувствуешь счастье от повторения?
Легче становится, чем было.
Well, I feel, how to say, like, more easy. Feel myself better.
Yes, the holy name destroy all miseries, all suffering.
Святое имя разрушает все страдания.
Okay, I'm very glad to see you, glad to meet you.
Очень рад видеть тебя и рад познакомиться с тобой.
Okay. Sometimes there may be some disturbance living in the ashram, but just try to tolerate.
В ашраме бывает беспокойно, но постарайся терпеть.
Okay. Like you put many stones in a bag and do like this. One stone goes off another stone and all becomes smooth.
Камней в один мешок, и они трутся друг об друга.
Right?
This is small thing. I just interested in Krishna.
Конечно, он очень спокойный, терпеливый.
Симхагрива Прабhu say he is a very quiet person.
Okay, that's good quality.
Хорошее качество.
Okay, thank you. Haribol, maybe see you on Thursday for Russian class.
Увидимся в четверг.
What's the time there now?
It's 6:40 p.m. Of course.
And it's still sunlight. My God.
Sure.
What time sun rises there?
Like 5 something.
Normal.
5.
Hey, this house you're living in, you should ask the owner how much it is. Didi was asking how much is the house.
Okay.
You wanna I heard like 10 million. Is that true?
Can be.
It's quite a lot of money, isn't it? Diga, don't
Well-
worry. Haribol.
Please.
Okay, see you on Thursday.
Dandavad Pranam Guru Maharaj.
Haribol. Krishna.